Hi, so we're going to talk today right now about the topic of intimacy disorders. And very often women whom I'm working with say to me, Karen, can you explain to me why I'm in a relationship where I feel that somebody doesn't get close to me? Or why is it that I have a fear of getting involved or fear of getting married? Or why is it that wherever I'm going, I have a fear of meeting lots of people or close contact with people? And essentially what they are describing to me is intimacy disorders. So an intimacy disorder is really a fear of closeness with another person, either emotionally or sexually, for example. So the classic symptoms that you have around intimacy disorders is people who don't express themselves sort of closely in a relationship, they don't become intimate in terms of the fears that they have, they don't share things with each other. Women, for example, who have a really high concern around the opinions of others that have of them. Often it's very difficult to tell how they feel about something or feel some sort of connection to them. And it's a really difficult situation because intimacy disorders obviously then become stumbling blocks in relationships. And a classic, sort of outcome is a fear of commitment, a fear of intimacy in a relationship, a fear of being who I am in a relationship, a fear of sharing things with my partner so I don't, or a fear of actually being close to somebody. So even, for example, while I might be with them sexually, for an example, I'm not really there, so that there's this kind of block around not giving of yourself completely. And I think that's a really important thing with women in relationships, because if we struggle with intimacy disorders, we struggle with life in many ways overall. And the reason I say that is because human beings are social animals. We are really, we're tribal in terms of we live together in communities, we live together in relationships. And if we can't be intimate with those relationships that are important to us, it can be really problematic in our relationships. Things like anxiety disorders, generalized anxiety disorders, issues around, as I've just described, intimacy, all those kind of things really bank up into a picture that says to me intimacy disorder. And generally intimacy disorders, the age-old thing, do we learn it or are we born to have those? I actually believe it's probably best not to say it's either or, but in my experience it generally tends to be a nurtured behavior. In other words, it's learned. So we might have seen situations where our parents were not particularly intimate, or we've been very hurt in the past in relationships, or we've seen our parents be very hurt, or we've been hurt by friends. So we kind of learn that intimacy is a dangerous and painful place to be, so we don't go there. And I'm often asked, so how do you overcome those things? Well, I think the first thing, like any problem, is to acknowledge that I've got this problem as a woman and how it's affecting my relationships and how it's affecting my relationship with me. And I think the next most important thing is to seek help. It's very difficult to fix, if not impossible, to fix an intimacy disorder if you on your own. You need somebody to guide you through a process. You need somebody to help you with that. But the good thing about an intimacy disorder, ladies, is that at the end of the day, you can certainly overcome it. So a good counselor, a good coach, a good life coach, a friend even, somebody to share the load and to lessen the burden. Thank you.